There once was a man out in space, considered an aerial ace. But with me in control, and no barrel rolls, he looked like a fucking disgrace. In today's humble opinion, we're getting it right up the tailpipe in Galak-Z the Void. Galak-Z the Void is an instance roguelike developed and published by 17-Bit. Oh, I'm sorry, I mispronounced that. 17-Bit! Names are like a password, folks. Capitalization matters. I'd hate to have given credit to the wrong person. I actually think it's kind of funny, though, that they shy away from calling it a roguelite. The Steam page refers to it as a modern AI and physics-driven open-world action game, viewed through the lens of a classic 16-bit space shooter. First off, I'd have chosen a better phrase than viewed through the lens if it's not going to look like a 16-bit space shooter. Second, open world seems like an iffy description for a game with levels that you don't even get to choose. And thirdly, how come it's not until the bottom of the description that it's referred to as roguelite in structure? And they even put it in singular quotation marks when it's the most apt description of the game. Are you ashamed? Let's break down the description one by one, shall we? Modern AI. Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop the fucking presses, man. Modern AI? That sounds like a buzzword if I ever fucking saw one. Like, in all honesty, I wouldn't know what the shit a modern AI looks like. Is it this? Is this the pinnacle of artificial intelligence? Because good news for me, I might be smarter than I thought I was. But based on my limited understanding of the subject, each developer programs their own to suit their style of game, so there isn't really a standard. This point is literally just, hey guys, I programmed the enemies in this game. Which, I mean, is kind of what I would expect from a game at all, so good job, man. You made a game. Physics driven. In all honesty, my friend, this should have been the point of the game that you shoved to the bottom of the description. See, a roguelite I can get behind. I fucking love those things. The only thing I like more is rogue heavies, alright? You can't get me enough of that rogue weight from a Mad Reps. But what I really can't get behind are physically floaty controls that behave the way they do for no real justifiable reason. The fucking environment is more of a threat to me than super high-tech brain simulators that you strap to your baddies most of the time, and you made it so I can't even die crashing into walls. I just fucking die all the time on the environment. I can see what you were going for, and I appreciate the effort you put behind it, but it's just too much to ask me to care about. I can't wrestle with my ship and an onslaught of enemies. I can barely remember that I have to press right if I want to turn left when facing down. I feel like a twin stick setup would have worked better, but as it stands, it's just fucking frustrating to the point that I couldn't stomach dragging my heavy ass to the next season. I get that I'm bad, it's kind of in my fucking name, but I feel like my progress was legitimately hindered by the physics gimmick. Open world. Dude, seriously, I don't know if you're right about this on the technicality of the definition of open world or something, but you at least on some level must know that this game is not open world in the way that any gamer recognizes it. This isn't Grand Theft Auto or Witcher 3. This is, we pick one of our missions at random and then randomly generate a small level with either 1 or 2 meteors free to fly through, and you're free to navigate wherever you'd like within the confines of that level. That doesn't sound very open world to me. Not only do you limit the space at any given time, but I can't even pick which space to be in. Action game! Alright, now we're talking. This one is actually pretty legitimate, as the action in this game has some seriously awesome potential. Dogfighting is always intense, and when you slap it into a roguelite wrapper, that feeling is only heightened. They made it so you can stealth around if you'd rather, or use the environment to your advantage. By which I mean both the literal environment with things like slowing globules, shield-breaking thorns, or damaging thistles, and in the sense that Imperial enemies will fight with the local bug population so the two will soften each other up. Even the bugs that like to lie in wait. Oh god, yeah, there that is. Ugh. Gross. Even the wonky controls can lead to some pretty awesome feeling moments if you manage to rein them in during a bout of Rain Man-like comprehension. The vibrant Saturday morning-esque cel-shaded art style lends to make it not only beautiful visually, but also action-y. So we'll give it points for that. Pedantics aside, I know what they meant when they said through the lens of a 16-bit space shooter, though I still think that needs to be better articulated on their side of things. The entire upgrade system is highly reminiscent of those aforementioned games with upgrades like Cluster Shot and a Splitter Muzzle, so if you've played those types of games, you'll pick up on what they mean. Normally you'll find Galak-Z on the Steam store for $9.99, which I suppose is fair. $10 doesn't seem too far off, though the experience can be more than a little frustrating for how punishing it is. My suggestion, however, would be to wait for its lowest sale price of $3.99 before committing to it, for that reason alone. Especially since it has an incomplete story, which I'll fill you in on in a bit. For now, let's talk gameplay, which earns a 5 out of 10 for its less than stellar control scheme, which can, at any moment, turn an otherwise enjoyable experience into an unbridled nightmare. There are a few interesting things worth noting in its upgrade and blueprint system, which ensures that after finding blueprints, you can get the upgrades at any point from there on out, even if you die. But after that, there's not much else that we haven't covered. There's the story, which has excellent voice acting and the potential to be entertaining, but it's never even been finished, because there weren't enough people to actually actually finish their game, so they punished those that did in favor of those that didn't, because the majority didn't finish the game and they wanted an infinite mode. But I don't know, maybe that's really great and I just don't know it because I couldn't get past Season 1 without dying of an aneurysm. Which means I also didn't get to try out the mech, which is a disappointment because of how iconic it is. Value likewise earns a 5 out of 10 because of how hot and cold it can feel. The game doesn't manage to form any strong loyalty from the player to make them want to play it all the way through, so any and every inconvenience can and will turn them away. Which is unfortunate because roguelites are all about their inconveniences, right? Even with arcade mode though, it just wasn't rewarding enough. Especially knowing that there's no light at the end of the tunnel. It's just never-ending tunnel, which I just don't understand. Could you imagine beating Super Mario 64 only to earn the right to play an endless platforming level where Bowser occasionally comes in to wreck phase, but you never actually get to save a princess? Not really compelling storytelling, is it? Overall, the game earns a composite score of 5 out of 10, which makes it unbelievably average with a flat C. There are things that could make it special, but they're held back by problems that plague it in the most fundamental of ways. It by no means is a bad game. It just is also by no means a good game. It is a game. And I would be remiss to forget to mention that it has artificial intelligence.